Hey there! I'm Sarah A. Chrisman, the author of The Tales of Chetzemoka, and today I'm going to talk to you about some of the Victorian slang that appears in my historical fiction series. The word cake is a fun piece of Victorian slang. It was slang for face. There's a great scene at the start of Sparks Press, my latest book, where Felix has just come away from a boxing match and Ken is teasing him that guy sure turned your cake to dough, didn't he?
A coot is a small aquatic bird, but it was also slang for a stupid person or just someone who's acting stupidly. So there's a scene in Sparks Press where Ken and Felix are joshing each other and joking around, and Felix calls Ken a coot, and Ken responds, "Well, at least coots can swim. You were so slow in the water, I thought you were going to drown."
Cully is a circus word that we see in A Trip and a Tumble, and it was a circus slang word for friend. So when Makomo is bringing the echidna to meet all his other beasts in the menagerie, he says, "I brought you all a new Cully." A dragon was a chaperone in 19th century slang, and of course, dragon is usually a chaperone you don't much care for. So when Ethel is telling a story about going to Europe with her aunt, who she has rather strained relations with, let's just say, she calls her aunt the dragon. En garçon is a French term that got used as slang in English, and it literally means as a boy or like a boy, but the context in which it got used in the 19th century is that when a married man traveled without his wife, he was traveling en garçon. And so there's a scene in A Trip and a Tumble where Ken and Felix are teasing Jacob because Jacob just keeps talking about, "Oh, I miss Addie," and Ken and Felix are getting really fed up with it. So they get him in a headlock and they make him swear loyalty to the bachelor brother of bicyclists, which is something they make up right on the spot, and they tell him, "You're traveling en garçon this trip, get over it. Have some fun without your wife." The phrase "I vum" was very Western and it was very slangy. It was a very casual way of saying "I vow," which is a slang way of saying, oh, how would I even express that in a non-slang way? It's just a way to really emphasize something. The way it comes up in one of my books is in First Wheel in Town, the first time someone sees Doc's bicycle for the first time. He says, "It's nothing natural, I vum." It's like saying, "It's nothing natural, I swear," I guess is the closest way to say it. It's just a way to emphasize the point you're making in a very casual way. To hook something in Victorian slang is to steal it. So there's a scene in A Trip and a Tumble where Ken and Felix are talking and Felix is saying he doesn't want his bike to get hooked. He doesn't want it to get stolen. Now, because Felix is one of my favorite characters to write about in the Tales of Chetzemoka, the term inkslinger comes up quite a bit, because an inkslinger is a reporter. But it was a rather derogatory way to talk about a reporter. And so when Ken tells his family that Felix isn't like other inkslingers, he's sticking up for him. The word main means very in Victorian slang. There's a scene in one of my books where Ken is telling a story and he says he could tell someone was main glum about something. It's another way of saying they were very glum, they were very sad. Now, the word mash is one of my favorite pieces of Victorian slang. A mash is a crush on someone, a romantic crush. So if you have a mash on someone, you have a crush on them. You are interested in them. And so Ken is always teasing people about, having a mash on so-and-so. He teases Peter about having a mash on Teresa, and then he's teasing Bumps about having a mash on Ethel. So that's a crush. And if you think about it, it's not that far off linguistically between a mash and a crush. Sleeve is another very Western slang term. A sleeve in Western slang was a gun. So there's a scene in Three Women a Wheel where someone is noticing that Ethel is carrying around a very fancy sleeve for a woman. And it's because Ethel doesn't have a mother, and so she's always been trying to get closer to her father, and his interest is shooting, target shooting. So as a child, she had always gotten him to teach her how to target shoot. So she has a gun collection that she's rather fond of, so she's got some nice sleeves.
And one last piece of Victorian slang today. If someone is talking about their smalls, they are talking about their underwear. So to recap today's words, someone's cake is their face, a coot is a stupid person or a foolish person, a cully is circus slang for a friend, a dragon is a chaperone, un garçon is referring to a man who's traveling without his wife, I vum is I vow or I swear, to hook something is to steal it, an inkslinger is a reporter, main is very, a mash is a romantic crush, a sleeve is a gun, and smalls are undergarments. I challenge all the writers out there to see who could use these to best effect in the comments below. Have at it and have fun.
Thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a nice thumbs up, and remember to tell your friends about my books. Happy reading!